Here is Sandy Castell.
Welcome to Lunch with Sandy on KLAV 1230 AM Talk Radio, featuring WEMA, Women in Music and Arts. I'm your host, Sandy Castell, and my guests today are Amy Frost, April Azzolino, Gigi Hancock, Jonathan and Marissa Gorst, and Jonathan Scott. Hi, girls. How are you today?
Happy Halloween.
Good. In the studio right now, I've got Amy Frost and April Azzolino. How are you?
I'm great, Sandy. Thank you for having me here.
Good. This is the first time for you on this show today, right?
This is.
Yeah, and we just met at the Taste and Toast a couple weeks ago.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, you came by my booth.
I'm going to need to get you right on that microphone. There we go. And Amy Frost, you are our delivering happiness messenger.
Woo!
Trick or treat. And she came dressed for Halloween today.
I did. I got my Wicked T-shirt. I got
Yes.
my Wicked Witch hat and my flying monkey.
And your flying monkey. Oh my gosh, they really do fly.
They do fly. They do fly.
So, what message do you have for us this morning on Halloween?
On Halloween, I really was sitting there with Halloween, and what would be a good message, especially with the focus on living your art and making a living at doing that. And I prayed about it, and what came forward for me was fear, because that's what Halloween is all about, and the excitement, right? The trick and the treat. And we talk about flying monkeys. They say when monkeys fly. So what I wanted to start off with, and I want to talk a little bit later about give you a process when your fears come up.
Okay.
And what really sitting with this, it really came to you and I have had this conversation about people having a fear of success.
Right.
I really believe more often than not it's a fear it is a fear of success, and that our culture is comfortable with being failures. And that's our comfort zone. And so what I want to do is support people in moving past that, and dealing with what stops us from allowing ourselves to be successful, whatever that means for you.
Right.
So a quote that came to me that I really love, that I think will help us to frame that. So I want people to feel this, and I want them to be with these words. Just take a moment and take a nice deep breath. And then just kind of go to your center point, and let's take these words in. I will be capable of loving, regardless of whether I am loved in return. Of giving, even when I have nothing. Of working happily, even in the midst of difficulties. Of holding out my hand, even when utterly alone and abandoned. Of drying my tears, even while I weep. Of believing, even when no one else believes in me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Do we have a trick-or-treater at the door?
I think we have a trick-or-treater. Come on in. Is she coming in now? No, she's not coming in. Okay.
We scared her.
Scared her away. When you talk about fear, the first time I ever heard about that people have a fear of success is a long time ago. I went to this class at the community college out in Los Angeles, and it was just this little one-day workshop. And it was about procrastination.
Oh.
And they say, why do people procrastinate doing things? And one of the things that they said was not only the fear of failure, but it was the fear of success. Because there is a thing, and we've talked about this, when people are working towards a goal, sometimes, and they're getting closer and closer to it, sometimes they get a little bit afraid of, well, what if I do become successful? Now, they don't even think it consciously.
Yeah, it's part of your cells.
It's just in there. Those little voices in there that say, oh, you could never do that. Oh, well,
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
Well, you got to be a little crazy to be an artist, don't you?
That's
If you're too sane, you're not really a good artist. At least that's what I imagine.
But that's one of the things when I wrote that song, "Don't Tell Me I Can't," is don't tell me I can't, don't tell me I won't, don't tell me I never will, don't tell me I don't fit the mold, because I
feel a song coming on.
I know. I think sometimes we think that maybe we're a little bit too old to be doing what we're trying to do, or maybe we don't fit that mold of what you think is a success of a certain image. When I was in high school, and my girlfriend Kenna Wadsworth, who had been Miss Clark County, and she was Miss Nevada in the Miss America program. She said to me, "Sandy, you should enter the pageant." And I said, "Yeah, but Kenna, I'm not tall and blonde, Of course, I'm blonde now, but still not tall. No. But she said, "No, Sandy, it's 50% talent." And I said, "Oh, well, I can sing."
Yep.
But my image of what a beauty contestant was,
Sure.
a beauty pageant queen was was it? It was tall and blonde. So sometimes we have images in our head, and sometimes they come from either something that we heard when we were a child,
Right.
when either a parent or a teacher or a friend or somebody said, "Oh, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that," or "What makes you think you're any good?" So that fear, and how do we
Well, part of it is
compensate
if you have to
for it?
remember, hopefully we remember, that each path is unique.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nobody to follow. We can get mentors
Right.
to support us in finding our unique path.
Yeah.
But and so it's going to be a bit of trepidation because there really isn't anybody to follow for your path.
Right, and the other thing is we're not on anybody else's path, and we're not on anybody else's timeline.
Yeah.
Even though we might think that we are,
Yep.
because of guidelines that are given to us, in school, or you have to do this by a certain age. We really are on our own timeline. I'm not Celine Dion. I'm not Patsy Cline. I'm Sandy Castile. Okay, I don't.
The fabulous
So
Sandy
well,
Castile.
and you're Amy Frost, and you're April Azalino, and I have your name right, and I'm so happy about that. So April, what do you think about that? About fear? I know that you come from an experience with Reiki work and also with guiding angels.
Yes, as a
Yes.
matter of fact, I work with the Inner Peace Movement. It's
Okay.
a program underneath the Americana Leadership College, a spiritual college out of Iowa.
Oh.
So we actually teach these tools to help people listen to their inner guidance and their intuition so that they're walking with their flow, you could say. So there's tools and techniques to help people. Actually having a couple of upcoming programs at the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center on November 13th and 15th
Oh.
to help people with that vibration so they start listening to their inner guidance.
And how do we? What would you say if you were going to give us a little simple example of that? How to listen to our inner voices, our inner guides?
Well, we have experiences all day long. Our guidance are giving us hunches and insights. And so they do that through our feelings, through hearing, through vision, through our inner knowing. So I help people discern in what way that gift order comes for them. I do a personal profile on that. And you probably, I can give an experience for myself. One day I was going into this beauty salon, and something hit me like, oh my God, this person there's something wrong. There was this guy walking up and down the sidewalk. Well, sure enough, when I was getting ready to leave that beauty salon, that inner knowing, that aha, like something was going on, he held up that beauty salon. Like,
Oh my
so,
gosh.
see, my guidance was giving me that aha before, but I was in a hurry getting into the salon, right? So it was that inner knowing. So that's what I help people tap into. Instead of ignoring it, listening to it.
That's wonderful. When we're children, I really do. I feel that when we're children, we are open. We are open to receive so many different things. And a lot of times, when we hear about, the little friend that the child has, oh, I got my buddy or I got my friend, and they say, oh, no, you don't. The parents say, no, don't talk about that or don't tell anybody about that. I think that we're receptive to things. And I think as we get older, we're told, no, you really don't have those feelings. Don't worry about that. We stop sometimes
Sometimes
we
you're right.
stop paying attention.
And that's what I teach in my programs. Getting out of the intellect, because that's what we do a lot. We're always in the intellect.
Right.
Instead of getting into our feelings.
Right.
So that's when that intuition starts kicking in, when we stay relaxed. And you start picking up those ahas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you pay attention to
And you
them.
pay attention to them because
Right.
they're happening all day
the
long.
time, yeah.
But it's when we get into our feelings and listening to them.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, can I share a story?
Yes, please.
The Chicken Soup for the Soul. This was in a Chicken Soup for the Soul, and there was a little boy. He was like 5 years old, and mom had a new baby, and so brings the baby home, and he tells mom, dad, I want to spend time alone with the baby, and they were like, oh no, this is not going to go well. So they kept trying to push him off, but he said, no, I really want to spend time with the baby. So they talked about it. Said, how could we do this to make sure everybody's safe? So they had the baby monitor, when they could listen. And if they needed to, they could get in there really quickly.
Sure.
So the appointed time comes, and the 5-year-old goes into the baby's room, shuts the door, and they hear him shuffle over to the crib, and you hear him lean over and says, baby, tell me about God. I'm beginning to forget.
That's so great. See?
That's right. That's right.
Listen.
And I'm hearing more and more that that there's a belief that the children that are coming in now are holding on to those experiences.
And they have been, I think, for many years
a lot
now.
longer.
Yeah, we have a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's part of the problems we're having. They don't want to put up with things because they know what the truth is.
They don't want to put up with all the
Craziness.
messed up stuff that's going on, right? They just want to pay attention to that good, high, connected, spiritual stuff and keep that connection as long as they can. So today we're always talking a little bit about the business of being an artist, because as WEMA, Women in Music and Arts, is all about focusing on supporting women and men in the arts, and we have literary, visual, and performing artists, and we also have healing artists in our organization. And one of the things is sometimes we're very right brain, and we say that loosely, but they say, okay, we're right brain or left brain, but there really are people that specialize in certain things, and I think as artists, a lot of times we get into that process of being creative, and then sometimes it's hard for us to shift gears and be technical and take care of all the business things, maybe that we have to take care of. And we've talked a lot about collaboration and how important collaboration is when you're in the arts, because you can team up with people that are good with making the websites. And in fact, our website designer, Mike Austin, is starting to work with some of our other members, and he's offering a special deal for all of our members, for creating new websites. So he's good for website design, and then you have somebody else over here who works on social media, so that they can get on your social media and take care of all that stuff, and then we can still be the artist.
Well, what I'm seeing a lot of with the economy and the issues that we've had with the economy, what people are doing, going back to what we started out doing, was bartering. These are my gifts and talents, and this is what I can bring to the table.
That's right.
So I think that's one of the exciting things about the perfect storm of the economy in the last few years, are people are bartering with their true gifts and talents.
It's interesting that you say bartering, because, Jonathan Scott has bartering, I think it's bartertelevision.com, or I don't know, or barterexchange.com, and he's all about bartering for services,
because money was
like
something we created to exchange for our gifts and talents.
That's right.
So it's kind of the the middleman.
We'll have to ask him about that. I mentioned that to him the other day.
It's a cool
what about
thing.
Singers and artists, and can you create some art for somebody, and maybe in lieu of other services,
or write them a song,
or
write them a song, or whatever,
perform for them,
Absolutely.
and then exchange. Do you do anything with bartering with any of your customers or clients?
Sometimes I do, depending on what the needs and the services are.
Right.
Yeah. So if there's, just depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So April, tell me, how did you get involved with this? What
My story?
What is your story?
How I got involved with the Inner Peace Movement programs. About 4 years ago, I had a client. I was a hairdresser for about 30 years. And she told me about this personal profile of connecting with your inner guidance and your intuition. And so she gave me that personal profile. After she gave me the personal profile, I started connecting with my own spiritual helpers, or angels, as some people like to call them. And I started doing a lot of coursework and programs with the Inner Peace Movement. And then about 1.5 years ago, I went away and I got trained as a consultant. And now I'm bringing the programs to Las Vegas at the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center, so people can do exactly what I'm doing. Learning how to connect with their inner guidance and their intuition, and understand their vibrational energy, because that's all we are.
Well, good. Well, we're going to be right back, and we'll be talking more about that, about your awakening your inner guidance and intuition.
Thanks,
okay,
Amy.
with April Azzolino and with Amy Frost, delivering Happiness Messenger. All of me. Why not take all?
Education and mentorship. This is WEMA, Women in Music and Arts. Here again is your host, Sandy Castell.
Hi, this is Sandy Castell. Welcome back to Lunch with Sandy. I'm here with my guests today, Amy Frost and April Azzolino. And also on the line now we have Jonathan Scott. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, everybody.
How are
Jonathan.
you?
I'm great. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you.
Boo.
So were you just listening about what we were talking about, the bartering?
No, I wasn't. What were you talking about?
Why
We were
not?
talking trash about you.
What is your other service? It's called bartering.
Barter Exchange Television. I started that because I had a television network with Marriott and I put TV programming in the airport, so I started doing barter. When somebody couldn't afford to advertise, we'd say, well, what do you have? And, whatever it was that they would have, we would take and either turn it into an exchange and trade it for something else or do a direct trade with somebody, and it worked out great. It's actually the oldest form of currency.
Uh-huh.
You sing for me, and I'll book talent for you.
Great. That sounds
brilliant.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about Amy.
Yeah, that we used to use our talents to exchange, and money came about as kind of to take the place of that.
Right.
That's what I said. It was the first form of currency was actually barter.
I know. That's what I said.
Yeah. So definitely we are open as WEMA, Women in Music and Arts, if somebody wants to barter for advertising or for something
And
to be
it's
part
not
of
about
us.
being afraid of money. I mean,
That's
that's
right.
a different issue. Bartering because I'm not worthy of money. Those are separate issues.
That's right.
So you would take cookies, wouldn't you?
Not chocolate chip, but I would take peanut butter.
So tell me what kind of happiness you're delivering today, Amy.
I'm bringing the happiness of Halloween. Trick or treat.
The power of Halloween.
The power of Halloween. You get to be whoever you want to be today.
Oh, good.
That's right.
I'm happy being me.
So, Jonathan,
that's good.
you have a couple of shows going on over at the LVH. You have the Comedy After Hours.
I do.
And then also you have Toys for Tots, which is coming up December 1st.
It is, yeah. First, comedy After Dark stars Anthony Padilla, funny young guy, and it's a standard comedy format where we've got one MC and then three other comics that do the middle act, and then it leads up to the headliner. That's an hour and 15 minutes of silly fun and stand-up comedy, and that's exactly what it is. And we haven't made the announcement yet, but Grandma Lee is going to be coming, so it's announced here first. I don't know if anybody saw Grandma Lee. She's on America's Got Talent.
Oh,
that's
She's about 75 years old, and she does stand-up comedy, and it's very self-deprecating, but it's very funny. It's the 10 o'clock show from Thursday. We're all about self-deprecation. Thursday through Sunday, it's the 10 o'clock show. So if any of your listeners want to go see that, we can certainly give away a couple of tickets to go see Comedy After Dark with Anthony Padilla. And then Toys for Tots, we're lucky enough Sandy's going to be singing in the show. It's going to be a great show. It's hosted by Zoe Bowie, which is, I think, the #1 lounge act here in town. They play Friday nights at the Red Rock. And then Saturday, I think they're on Fremont Street now. And the David Perico Orchestra, and David does something called Pop Evolution, which he appears every once in a while at the Palms Lounge. And he's a great conductor and arranger. And in order of appearance, we've got Charles Dickens Holiday Carolers, led by Jerry Jones. We've got the Honor Guard, the Color Guard. We've got a video by Clint Holmes. Because it's a military thing. Anybody with a rap toy, it's actually Toys for Tots for the United States Marine Corps. They sponsor it, and it's sponsored by Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara. So we'll have a big Escalade. Actually, the Escalade is going to be out in front of the LVH starting on Friday. And I'm going to announce it on the morning blend on Friday morning. So if anybody wants to bring a rap toy, you can either bring it to Cadillac of Las Vegas, and you can get 2 free tickets by going to Cadillac of Las Vegas with a rap toy, or you can go over to the LVH and drop off the toy in one of the Escalades there. Zoe Bowie, I mentioned, they're doing their Vintage Vegas show. And then we've got Trent Carlini, who's the #1 Elvis impersonator in the country. He won on America's Got Talent as well. He'll be doing GI Blues, and he'll have a blue Christmas. You guys are the singers. And then Sandy's going to be doing Santa Baby and Cool Yule. I know you just deliver happiness.
Right.
Gordy Brown is coming. If anybody's ever seen Gordy Brown, he's an amazing impressionist. He's the #1 impressionist. He's over at the Golden Nugget. Mark Giove is going to be doing Ave Maria. Lorena Peril from the Fantasy Show. Rocker Paul Shortino is going to be going. Just a lot of people are going to be coming, and we're going to have pop-in guests. And actually, if he's not doing a movie, Nicolas Cage said he's going to come to the show as well. So anybody with a rap toy gets in for nothing. Otherwise, it's $19 at the box office. Tickets are available at the website, which is thelvh.com. If you go to the entertainment calendar, it's Toys for Tots, and at the LVH box office. So that's the big show. We've got a golf tournament that morning as well, too. I know you were going to jump on it. I know.
I was.
I know. The golf tournament's going to be that same morning on Saturday, December 1st at Boulder Creek. And if you want more information on that, you can go to the website, which is www.DEC, like December, DEC1golf.org, DEC1golf.org, and you can register right online for that. And that's pretty much what's going to take me through the end of my little year.
Now, also, you have Lisa Furr is going to be joining us from
I
Candy.
left off Lisa Furr. How did I do that?
Yeah, and also Murray the Magician. I don't know if you said him. And then
No, I didn't.
And
Boy,
then
see what I need
Marissa Gorst, who's one of the WEMA members, and she's also in the Phantom. She's one of the dancers that's going to be dancing in the show with me. And let's see.
I didn't go through my notes. That's why I didn't get all the way through.
I know. Well, there's a lot of Sky D. Mills. Miles is going to be. Oh, that's right. Rob Garrett's going to be
Number
there.
one, Neil Diamond.
That's
and
right.
Rory, the celebrity magician. And
it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of
Variety
fun. Yeah. So we're going to start out with golf during the day, and we're going to be setting up teams. So if you want to be on the WEMA team, you must give the code WIMA when you call in to make your reservation.
What's that code?
WIMA, WEMA. If you want to be on the WEMA golf team.
And we're going to have a bus, too. We're going to have a bus going from the LVH down to the golf course. So if anybody wants to party and have a few cocktails and be safe about it, you can. I think it's going to be like $25 more to take the bus from the LVH all the way down to the golf course and back.
Well, the good thing is also it's only $125 if you do the golf and the show. You get the show too, right?
Correct.
So that's
correct.
a really good
Nice.
deal. So if anyone wants to get those, win 2 tickets for the show that evening, the Toys for Tots, you can call in at 702-731-1230. 1230. That's 731-1230.
That number again, 731-1230. Call now. Operators are standing by.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Jonathan Scott.
Thank you, ladies, and keep delivering happiness.
I'm working on it, man.
Thank
Trick or
you.
treat.
Talking to your husband on the other line.
Happy
cool.
Halloween.
Great.
Ask him about that delivering happiness business.
Perfect.
Thank you, ladies.
Great. Bye,
Happy Halloween.
Jonathan. Happy
Bye.
Halloween.
Bye.
So that's it. That's great. Yeah. See, he's talking. He has the bartering. The bartering network.
I really think
and-
we can really take you said it, but it's not about being afraid of money.
No, it's not.
You
No,
know,
it's not.
and I'm not deserving of money.
No, it's just that there are services that can be exchanged, and especially if you have different kinds of things that you're doing. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about with April here about awakening your inner guidance and intuition. I want to hear about this event you've got coming up on November 13th from 7 to 9 p.m. and it's going to be at the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center, which is at 800 North Rainbow Boulevard. Now, what's across the street on that?
Rainbow and Washington.
Rainbow and Washington. Okay, and the investment in that is only $10.
That's right. So to learn about yourself.
Yeah.
So this is really just an introductory lecture introducing people to what the Americana Leadership College is, a spiritual college out of Iowa, and talking about the founder, Dr. Francisco Cole, the movements that he developed in his lifetime, and one is the Inner Peace Movement programs that I work through. And we'll just kind of talk about that. You'll learn about your vibrational energy, your spiritual self. We'll do techniques so you can actually understand your sensitivity as a soul and understand what energy work is all about, because that's all you really are, a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. Yeah. And we'll get a little deeper. We'll also talk about the your spiritual gifts as sensitivity, or you might say the psychic gifts. We all have them. We're all born with them. Some people aren't. No one's more special than the other ones. And those intuitive gifts are your intuition, your vision, your prophecy, and your feelings. So we all have all 4 gifts. One is your primary gift, and the other 3 follow suits. And so through a personal profile, I help discern that for you. So some people are more, as you intuitive, or you might say clairaudient. So they hear messages, they get hunches and hints from their guidance. And some people get pictures, those mental pictures. They get those visionary gifts. They're like, oh, wow, I see that. Some people get a feeling. They're empathic. They don't know. They're very sensitive. They walk in the room and something hits them a certain way. And then others, the gift of prophecy is just knowing. I don't know why I know, but I just know that I know. And so we'll talk a little bit about those gifts and how how you can work with those gifts.
Well, so that could be very important for not only artists, but everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
The more you understand that and discern for yourself your spiritual energy and how that works, the more you can get your flow going. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, again, that is Tuesday, November the 13th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center, 800 North Rainbow Boulevard, Las Vegas, Nevada. The investment is only $10, and that is with April, and is at Azulino.
Azulino, yes.
And you're the one that's doing this.
I am the
that's
one putting on the program,
on
yes.
this program. Great. Well, thank you so much, April. I appreciate that. And stay tuned. You're going to be right here.
Thanks,
Stay with us.
Sandy.
Don't leave.
And with business, I really believe that intuition is just as important as critical thinking.
It is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just listening to it more often, staying in our feelings instead of letting that intellect get in the way. We'll talk about that in the program because a lot of us get our intellectual side. We're doing.
Well, we're rewarded for that. Our
and
whole
we're
lives.
rewarded.
That's right.
Right, and so it
For our
now
actions.
it's taking and operating the opposite of the rest of the world.
Yeah. So these programs can help people discern their energies and their vibrations for themselves.
That's good. Well, we have a caller, and it is Gigi. Hi, Gigi.
Hi, Gigi.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And I'm going to ask you, is it Hancock?
Hangak.
Hangak. Okay, that's why I wanted to ask and make sure. Hangak. Okay. And Gigi, you are a singer, and I understand you sing rock and roll, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
and you just came to Las Vegas recently, or?
Actually, I've been here a while, but
okay.
It's just laying low.
Been laying low. Okay, tell us how you got started singing.
Just by listening to stuff growing up, it's like I always knew, I guess I wanted to do it, and so I just started singing in local bands in Cleveland and eventually moved out to L.A., and the rest is history.
So who did you sing with out in L.A.? Were you with a band?
Yeah, I was in a band called Phantom Blue for the majority of my career, actually.
Okay.
And just odds and ends, with different stuff here and there before that, and not much after it.
So what kind of music? So it was rock, but where did you?
We were one of the first all-female heavy metal bands back in the day.
Wow.
What year was that? When were you doing that?
I think our first album came out in 1989. So
Okay.
it was like we rehearsed and gigged around town a few years before that, probably maybe a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put an album out with Shrapnel. Then we put an album out on Geffen, and then the band broke up.
Well, so you had 3 different albums then.
Yes, we had 2 on kind of sort of major labels. One major label, one semi-major label, and then we put one out independently.
Mm-hmm. And then, so did you do a lot of touring, Gigi?
Just of Europe mostly.
Uh-huh.
We got a lot of support in Europe. Metal's still big over there, so it does real well.
So being the first all-girl metal band, you must have come up against some flack a little bit.
Doubters. A lot of doubters.
Yeah. And how did you deal with that?
Let the music do the talking.
Nice. Good answer.
That's good. Are you a songwriter also?
No, I'm just more of a. I wrote some of the lyrics and stuff. I can't really write melodies. I actually don't play anything, so it's kind of like been a.
You play but you're a singer, so your voice is your instrument. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And the instrument that is your voice is your body also, which means that you have the extra added work that you have to do to make sure that your body is always in tune and in shape.
And it's like I like to think that the inflections and the personality you bring to the song would makes that song completely and uniquely yours.
That's right.
Nobody else that way.
That's right. So, but if you wrote lyrics, you're a lyricist then.
It's like I didn't even do that much.
well, I got to tell you, I write also, and I did a lot of writing back in Nashville. And one of the things they do is they get a few people together and they write songs, and they say whoever's in that room and is participating, and in that song is one of the songwriters and one of the co-writers. And sometimes, go ahead.
I said that's why I do have a few writing credits.
Yeah, because and sometimes it makes a difference because you can
one word in the right place makes all the difference.
A phrase can make all the difference in the song, and the hook, and so it's very important. So don't discount that at all, thinking that you only did a little bit. But listen, hold on just a second, Gigi. I want to hold that thought because we're going to take a little brief pause and we'll be right back with Gigi Hangak.
Now, let's return to Weema. Women in Music and Arts, Las Vegas's #1 women's organization for scholarships in the arts. Here again is your host, Sandy Castell.
Hi, welcome back to Lunch with Sandy. I'm your host, Sandy Castell, and we are featuring WEMA, Women in Music and Arts. And today we have in the room with me, Amy Frost and April Azzolino, and on the phone we have Gigi Hangak. Gigi, let's talk a little bit more about what you were explaining about your work as a singer and as a lyricist. So what I was saying is don't discount that you only wrote a few lyrics here and there, because you were a part of that process, and because you're a part of that process, your energy and your feelings about the song also, created that song.
I guess I do believe that, but I always felt like I was taking too much credit or something. It's like if I thought like that, it's like, because I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the whole era of the time and stuff like that too.
Well, that's an interesting subject, as we were talking about before, people feeling like they either can't do something, or it's too late in their life to do something, or they're not good enough, or they're not contributing enough to get the recognition, just like what you said. You feel like, well, maybe you're taking too much recognition. Well, but you were there. You were doing it. And I think sometimes we take things for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amy's done a lot of different things in her life. She's been involved in a lot of different organizations.
You're like, but tell me I can't. I've done things that I can't even believe I pulled off.
Yeah. I was in the Miss America pageant, and I was Miss Nevada. And for the longest time, I didn't walk around going, "Hi, I'm Sandy Castell. I was Miss Nevada in Miss America pageant." I didn't do that. I went to L.A., and I never even mentioned it to people, and there was something that I did, but I took it for granted that anybody else could have done it. So it was no big feat, but, and the truth is anybody can do it. If they put their mind to it, they can do what they want to do. So, but don't forget that, you have accomplished these things, and it's okay to put it on your resume, or to let people know what you've done, and feel good about it. Even if it was in that other lifetime of yours, because now you're probably in a different phase of your life, right?
Oh, yeah. Who isn't 20 years later?
Yeah. Yeah. So are you working on any projects right now?
I'm just, it's this, I'm so sorry, this phone's got a message. Okay. This town is really hard to crack, I've found. Like, it seems, especially in the field that I'm in.
In heavy metal?
Yeah, it's like, or hard rock, whatever, It's like it's really quickish. It seems like, and I'm just like, I'm actually kind of amazed at what a hard time I've been having.
Really? So now, do you go out to the clubs that are playing that kind of music?
Yeah, I do.
And
a lot.
And you meet the different people that are doing those songs, that style? Yeah.
And they'll go, oh my God, you sound so amazing. It's like, we're going to have to get together and do something. And it's like, nothing.
Well, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's about reevaluating what you're doing and what your approach is, too, and look at some different opportunities. Have you ever gone and sat in at the Tap House?
No.
Well, Monday nights, I'm going to give them a plug, because the Vegas Underground has been, they've been very supportive of WEMA, Women in Music and Arts. In fact, they did a fundraiser for us in July over at Boca Park. And they're also sponsored by by Cadillac West. And they have Monday nights at 7 o'clock an open where you can come in and sit in, okay? And you just, got to let them know which song you want to sing. And they're so friendly over there, and they're so welcoming, and it's just packed in there Monday nights. You really have to go early to get a seat. So why don't you come out, with us next week? Next Monday night I'll be there. Jonathan Scott will be there. Maybe we'll get some of the other WEMA girls to come on out.
Great.
And let's get Guido, to come on out. And I know he plays guitar, and maybe you guys can get up and sit in, and he can play, and you can sing.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so yeah,
I mean, we're collaborating right on the air.
That's right. That's what WEMA is all about, And Gigi is a member of WEMA,
Fantastic.
As it actually Guido signed her up. Isn't that nice of him? Really?
No, well, the men, and we've talked about that.
I know.
The men in our lives can, really make a difference for us.
So, do you want to talk about how you and Guido got together and met, and how he's been really supportive of what you're doing and out here? Gigi?
No.
Okay.
Never mind.
Well, I know that as Facebook friends, he contacted me several months ago, and he said, "Sandy," he goes, "I've got a friend out there that's living there, and she's a great singer, and I want to get her involved in some things. So I'm going to sign her up for WEMA." So see, he believes in you. He believes in you, Gigi.
Yeah, it's like I hadn't seen him in like 30 years or something like that. I think it was when he contacted me on Facebook again. I was like, oh wow.
So see, you have supporters in your corner.
Like I said, those little breadcrumbs.
That's
from
right.
30 years ago, they just pop out of no place.
You never know by putting your energy out there, just going and going. At the time, it might not seem like your opportunities are happening, but vibrationally, by just going out there, things start happening. So keep going out.
That's right.
Let your light shine.
Yeah.
Well, the bamboo tree, I just learned this recently, that for 5 years, it builds its infrastructure underground. For 5 years. You don't see anything.
Wow.
And then overnight, it goes up 25 feet. Boom.
Wow.
But for those 5 years,
it seemed fruitless.
It's going, and then all of a sudden you've got a big tree.
Well, Gigi, you've already had success in your life, with the band that you performed with, and getting records and performing all over Europe, So, and I welcome you to come to all of our events that we do, or any of the events that you want to be involved in, and I'm glad that you're a member. And obviously, we don't have a lot of heavy metal or hard rock singers in our group, so we definitely need to explore this more. So I welcome you, and I'm so glad that you're part of us. And just keep on going out, and let's meet next Monday. Come on out to the Tap House, okay?
Definitely will do it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Gigi, for joining us today. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a fabulous day, and happy Halloween.
Happy Hallows.
Go out, scare people tonight.
There you go.
So, okay, there you go. See, she's a lyricist. She's had success, and yet still there's a little bit of that trepidation, a little bit of that feeling.
It's almost like
that,
if I did it once, can I do it again? And yeah, you can, but it's kind of like I only get one shot.
Well, a lot of people have gone through a lot of changes in the past few years.
Big time.
People that have had jobs that they've been saving their money, they've been putting it in, investing it in the stock market, and then the stock market crashed, and then they invested it in their homes or their real estate, and then the real estate market crashed. And then they're having to reinvent themselves. And a lot of people are going back to what they used to do, what they were passionate about when they were younger, and they're rediscovering their talents, or discovering new talents, something new. People that have retired maybe are taking their talents that they've had, and they're sharing them with other people by doing classes or workshops or seminars. So keep in mind, everyone listening out there, it's never too late to follow your dreams. So whenever anybody says, no, you can't, you won't, or you never will, just remember this song. Don't tell me I can't. Don't tell me I won't. Don't tell me I never will, 'cause you'll be sorry when I'm gone. Don't tell me it's way too late. Don't tell me I'm past my prime. Well, don't tell me I don't fit the mold, 'cause you only waste my time. So go out there.
Sandy, wow.
Just go out there and we believe in you. We believe in you and believe in yourself. You can and should go out there and follow your passions and do what it is that you feel that you want to do. And if you take the steps, take the time and take the steps forward, you are going to accomplish your goals. And maybe they won't always look like what you thought it was going to look like. It might be in a different shape or form. But remember that it's never too late to do what you want to do and follow your passions. We're going to take a brief pause, and we'll be right back with WEMA, Women in Music and Arts, and Lunch with Sandy.
You're listening to WEMA, Women in Music and Arts, Las Vegas's #1 women's organization for scholarships in the arts. Here again is your host, Sandy Castell.
Hi, everybody. This is Sandy Castell with WEMA, Women in Music and Arts.
And only Sandy Castell.
Lunch with Sandy. And I'm here with my guests, Amy Frost and April Azalino. And already we've had Jonathan Scott, and we had Gigi Hengak. And now we've got Marissa and Jonathan Gorst on the line. Hi, Marissa.
Hi, is Jonathan here too?
Oh, I don't know.
He's out there somewhere.
We have to include him because I know that you guys are partners in this spectacular show that's going into the Plaza this weekend.
Yes, we are partners, but ironically, we see each other very little because of
Oh my God.
Well, Marissa, you're one of the WEMA members, and you're our first ballet member. So we're so happy to have you.
Honor. Yes,
Yes.
it's quite an honor.
And I know that Jonathan and you have put this show together, and it was playing out at Bonnie Springs, and now you've brought it in town, and it's going to be opening this weekend
That is true.
with a new title.
Yes, the new title, the Grand Ole Vegas Review is what we're calling it, and we are opening this Saturday. Our first show is at 5 o'clock. The shows are always at 5 o'clock, actually. And we'll be running Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays, and this is kind of our dream come true. We've got the show on a real stage with, lights and sound, and
Oh my gosh!
it's been so great to see it. I mean, it's so funny because everything that was good about it at Bonnie Springs is only just better here, and it's so rewarding to see it. And you can feel it in the actors also. They kind of, even though it's a funny show, it's like they take having fun even more seriously now that we're on a big stage.
And we've got 2 tickets to offer our listeners if they call in at 731-1230. You've got 2 tickets for them, right, Marissa?
Yes, we do. 2 tickets to our Saturday show, our very first show. This is our soft opening. We're going to have a press night in a few weeks when we can invite other people. But for now, the show is ready to go. It just looks beautiful under the lights. The costumes are all ready. It's really fantastic. And we've added some new things. Now that I'm not in Phantom anymore, I can be in the show. And so we've added a dance number, which is rather romantic and very sweet, and it's going to be fun. It's old Fred and Ginger style dance.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's great. So we've bumped just a few elements of the production up, but it's still got such a heart. Like I said before, the best shows, whether big or small, are rich in heart and soul. That's actually a lyric from the show that we wrote, and it's still, it's still just, we call it a fun little show in a big fancy town. And so, and that's what it really is. It's just a fun little show, a little gem, and it's so nice to see it starting to sparkle.
Well, Marissa, we've talked about a couple things. One of them is collaboration, and which you guys are doing, collaborating on this project.
Oh, yes.
The other thing that Amy was just talking about, she was talking about bamboo. No, you're going to, but I'm going to let her explain this about what she was talking about with bamboo. Go ahead.
Well, the infrastructure, the bamboo grows for 5 years underground. You don't see anything. And then overnight goes up 25 feet. Boom. And then, like Sandy said, then you cannot get rid of it.
That's right. And we're talking about how, we have things that we've done in the past, or sometimes we're working on a new project. And sometimes it doesn't look like anything's happening on the surface.
You keep digging up the seed.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's just like working on a show, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
Yes.
And I think you started, 4 years ago? He had this idea when you guys went somewhere. I forgot.
Yeah, to Colorado.
That's right.
And it's been literally years and sort of generating, and it was a joke between us for a while that that we have this show that we would love to do someday when we have time.
Right.
And and it was just kind of like, well, now that Phantom's closing, we have time and we have money for once because we were in Phantom. So we can actually devote our time and energy to that project. But it absolutely has felt like that. It's felt like we've just been kind of underground, and then the collaborative element, certainly, we're drawing all of our nutrients from so many different people. Our actors, for one, they're just so full of energy and ideas, and they're always willing to look for a way to solve any problem, and that's what's sort of going on under the surface. It's fantastic.
It reminds me of the musicals of the 30s. There's always the show. They're working on the show, and then something happens, and they lose the place, and then they go and they put the whole show together, and they do it out in a barn. All pulled together, and that's what it's all about: collaboration. Well, thank you so much, Marissa, and I think
we need to get our WEMA group out there.
We got to get the WEMA people and everyone out there that's listening, and I think we've got some winners for the tickets already. They just called in. So thank you so much, Marissa, and we'll see you, and that will be this weekend, November the 3rd, at the Plaza downtown at 5 p.m., and call and get your tickets and go Okay?
We'll see you there. Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, Marissa.
Thanks, Sandy. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about what we've got coming up next Wednesday.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, our show is going to be live from UNLV next week, and we're going to be doing the Veterans Day event. It says UNLV honors our rebel vets.
Mm-hmm.
It's Wednesday, November 7th from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., and the location is at the PIDA Plaza. Is that pronounced correctly, Amy?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
PIDA Plaza. And it says, please stop by our table and show your support. And what they're doing is, I think they have this where you come and they've got this walk.
Yeah,
where
and
you're
it's a
gonna
20-minute walk. You can
Yeah.
run it if you want, and so you don't have to come all day. You know,
Right.
that you just come and you do the walk, and then we have a table where people are going to do cards for veterans at the veterans home and
So it
hospice.
starts at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be there at 5:30.
And goes till 2 p.m. However, the Lunch with Sandy is going to be
Yay.
on the radio live from UNLV from 12 noon to 1 p.m.
And we're going to be giving some of the Croc Awards during that time.
And we're going to give the Croc Awards, which is the Oprah Magazine and Croc Awards.
It's stepping up to your purpose and walking for good.
That's right. And that's 100 women with 100 purposes.
Absolutely. And we're going to have like 5.
With 100 causes.
And we're going to have several events.
Several
We're going to have
events?
one for you, girlfriend.
Okay, so we're going to be there, and so join us for Lunch with Sandy next week.
Bring your own lunch, though.
At 12 1, from 12 to 1 out at UNLV. So join us all there. And then join April on Tuesday, November 13th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And did they just bring the donation at the door?
At the door.
The $10?
Yeah, the $10.
And that's
And she'll
again
take more, I'm sure. If
I'm
you
sure
want
she
to.
will.
Yeah.
At the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center, 800 North Rainbow Boulevard, Las Vegas, Nevada. The investment is only $10, and that's Awaken Your Inner Guidance and Intuition with April Azzolino.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you so much for joining me today, April, and it's been wonderful having you here on the
Thank you.
show.
It's been wonderful.
And Amy, did you want to end with any final little message of delivering
Again,
happiness?
focus on what you want and do one little thing every day towards that one little baby thing.
And sometimes taking a breath and letting it out helps to refocus and get you back to where you need to be. Remember, Lunch with Sandy every Wednesday, noon to 1 on KLAV, 12:30 a.m. Talk Radio. And we're going to take it out with a song from my album, Sandy Castell, This Time Around. And we'll see you next week.
That would be our treat for the day.
Yes.
Beautiful treat is that.
Happy Halloween.
Hellos. Yay.